I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. When you're in the courtroom for a hearing or for a trial, credibility is everything. Credibility is king when you are on trial. And what that means is the judge is going to look at how believable you are and how believable your witnesses are. In today's video, I'm going to help you be the most credible witness you can be and also help you so you can coach your witnesses to be as credible as possible. Check the video out to the very end because near the end, I'm going to give you a link so you can sign up for a fun freebie that will help you get prepared for your trial. My name is Wendy Hernandez, and I'm a Phoenix family law attorney. I'm also the creator of Command the Courtroom. One of the biggest joys in my life is creating these videos for you and creating other content for you so you can walk into that family law courtroom for your family court or your custody battle feeling more confident and more competent. If you like these videos, don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. It helps spread the word and it helps me know that you're watching and that you're listening and that you are taking in this content and that you're liking it. If you'd like to get notified of future videos as they come out, be sure and hit the subscribe button. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, and I'm going to help you with being a more credible witness. And the reason I decided to touch on this topic today was because over the last week I got a question from one of the viewers who said, I am a trauma survivor and I'm worried about being activated while I'm in the courtroom. So how do I come across as being credible if I'm having anxiety or stress or even blackouts as I'm sitting on the stand and being questioned or talking to the court? And that is a tough one. I understand your concerns, and I'm going to do my best to help you out. I'm not a mental health professional, so I can't give you mental health advice, but I can tell you the tips and tricks that I've used over the years to help my clients who are feeling the same things that you're feeling, and also to help myself, because I will tell you, even after having done this job for over 25 years, I'm nervous every time I walk into the courtroom to do a trial. Usually I have butterflies in my stomach. Sometimes I'm feeling a little jumpy. Sometimes I feel fidgety. And there's personal little things that I do to settle myself down prior to the trial. I'm going to share those with you near the end of the video, so don't stop watching before then. But first, here are my tips for being the most credible witness that you can be while you're in the courtroom. All right, so tip number one should go without saying, but it is so important that I'm going to say it anyway. And that is, you're going to be a lot calmer going into the courtroom if you're prepared before you walk in. So that means you've done everything that you were required to do. You've disclosed, you've responded to discovery requests, you've written a pretrial statement as directed by the court, you've submitted those exhibits as directed by the court. So your T's are crossed and your I's are dotted and you're ready to go. Just that feeling of preparedness is going to help settle you so much. I know when I was in college and when I was in law school and I went into a test and I felt like I really wasn't that prepared, that's when I freaked out. That's when my stress got the better of me. And, I've even had cases where I thought, I could use another day or two to get ready. Like I really didn't feel ready. And those are probably the cases and the situations where I felt more stressed and when I felt I'm as ready as I can be. I'm good to go. I'm going to go into this court and kill it. So pre-trial preparation is number one. Now, usually the morning that I'm going into an evidentiary hearing, I scan through my questions that I have prepared for my client and for my witnesses and for the other side. I'm not digging deep and spending hours of the morning of. The morning of, I should be good to go, but I'm just looking through everything real quick to make sure it's fresh in my mind. And I'm also doing a quick review of the exhibits that go with my questions, just to make sure everything's in order. I have the exhibits cross-referenced in my questions, and I feel settled. That helps me feel so good, just doing that quick scan through of my questions and my evidence the morning of the hearing. So in addition to being prepared and doing everything that you could, or you can, or you could have prior to the day of the trial, if it makes you feel better, and some of these tips may not work for you or you don't feel like you need them, but if it helps you feel better, just do a quick scan through of the testimony that you're going to give, of the questions that you're going to ask, and how you're going to respond to the other side's inquiries too. All right, so this is tip number 2 to help you become a more credible witness. And that is when you're in the courtroom and you're either giving your direct testimony or you're being cross-examined, speak with purpose. Don't just talk for the heck of talking. Talk because you have something to say and because you're trying to achieve a goal. So, how do you speak with purpose? Well, in my mind, and what I share with my clients is to always keep in mind what it is that's most important to you, what you want to come out of this trial. Whose interests are you seeking to protect? So, for example, if you're in court because you're involved in a custody situation, then your purpose as part of the trial is making sure the best interests of your children are met. So, your purpose is your children. So if you feel yourself getting flustered, take a minute. Well, don't take a whole minute because usually you're limited on time, but take a half a beat, take a breath, and think, what is my purpose here? What is my goal? My goal is my children. And focus in on your children and what it is that you want for them and what you want your life to be like. That is your purpose. Stay focused on your purpose. Speak with purpose. Don't talk just to talk. Say things that are relevant to the court proceedings and that are important to the judge. Don't ramble on. And, when I'm cross examining an opposing party and I ask them a question, usually I box them into a yes or no. But there have been occasions where I let the other side talk because they are giving me information that I actually think is harmful to their case, that is helping my client's case. They're not speaking with purpose. They're not thinking clearly. They're giving us all kinds of gold nuggets that are not going to serve them, but that are going to serve us. So always, when you're on the stand, speak with purpose. Keep in mind your main goal of the case and keep your focus on that. All right, so this is my courtroom credibility tip number 3, and that is that you should always speak your truth when you're in the courtroom and when you're on the stand. And not only does that mean telling the truth, but it also means that you can say, if you're feeling nervous, hey, judge, I'm feeling a little nervous. This is a new situation for me, so just bear with me. Give me some grace while I work through these nerves. And I guarantee you that if you say that, if you express that, if you're honest by that, it's going to take a little bit of the nerves off you because you're not going to stop trying to repress them. You will have just told everybody, I'm nervous, so it's out there. Now, another thing about speaking your truth, there's probably going to be times, especially when you're being cross-examined by the other party or the opposing attorney, that there are things that you won't know, details you don't remember. And a lot of times I've seen people get themselves into trouble by guessing about things that they don't know or about things that they don't remember. It is 100% okay when you're on the stand to say that you don't know something. It's better than guessing and better than guessing and being caught in a lie. It's also okay to say that you don't remember something for the same reason. If you don't remember something, but you're trying to just pull something out of the air or make something up just so you can fill the space with words, it may come back to bite you. Also keep in mind that if there are details that you do not remember and you have notes that might jog your memory, you can put it out there and you can say to the other attorney, like, I'm not remembering right now, but I do have notes. And if I look at my notes, those may refresh my recollection. Can I look at my notes? And in that situation, the judge may actually look at your notes to refresh your recollection. So don't freak out if you don't remember details or you don't know the answers to details. Just be honest about it. I will tell you, forgetting things while you're on the stand, not remembering them, is probably natural because you are under stress. You're probably operating in survival mode while you're testifying. And that's one of the things that happens. Sometimes you forget. And I can also share with you that's happened to me as an attorney. Like, I have millions of notes. I have all my direct examinations laid out. I have all of my cross examinations laid out. I have highlights. I have things with big stars. But unexpected events happen in the middle of trial. And every trial that I have, something happens that I wasn't planning on happening. And it sometimes throws me off, and I have to get back to my center and speak with purpose. But sometimes it does result in me forgetting to ask a question that I wanted to ask. It happens. Have grace with yourself, forgive yourself, but also be honest if you don't remember or if you don't know. Okay, so if you're here with me watching this video right now, tell me what your biggest fears are about testifying in the courtroom or about being cross-examined in the courtroom. Just drop me a comment, drop me a question, let me know what's bothering you, what you'd like answers to, what would help you feel better, how I could help you. I'm going to do my best to answer all of the questions that clients have asked me over the years and all of the little tips that I use as I go into a trial, but usually after I post a video, somebody comes up with something that I didn't even think of. So you might be that person. Leave me a comment. Okay, so let's get on to my tip number 4. These are some of the specific testimony tips I give every single client before we head into the courtroom for any kind of hearing. Now, at the top of the list are things that we already covered, like saying, I don't know when you don't know something, and saying, I don't remember when you don't remember something, and also taking half a beat before answering questions just to give yourself that pause and take a breath. I also tell clients to never interrupt whoever's asking them a question, whether it's me or the other side. Wait for the question to be finished before you answer. If you don't, and if you're interrupting, that may bother the judge. You may get reprimanded by the judge. In cases where there is a court reporter, the court reporter may get on your case. A lot of, or almost all of my trials now are audio recorded, so there's not court reporters anymore, but there may be jurisdictions that still have court reporters, and they will chew you out if you're interrupting the person asking the question and more than one person is talking at once. You may think you know what the question is that you're going to be asked, but you may not. So let the person finish, and that also gives you some extra time to process and formulate your answer. So no interruptions. Also, when you're testifying, don't use ahas or uh-uhs. Don't shake your head. Don't nod your head. Your answer has to be audible, and it has to be in the form of words, as in yes or no. If a judge is asking you a question, it's always yes, Your Honor, or no, Your Honor. When you can, look at the person asking the question, and I realize that the person asking the question may be your ex, and that may be difficult. It may be the first time that you're seeing your ex in a long time and you're being confronted by your ex. It's stressful. Be strong, maintain eye contact, take a breath, do the best you can, answer in words, answer with relevant answers. Don't go off on a tangent talking about things that you weren't asked about. Another thing, if somebody asks you a question and it doesn't make sense, and it happens, sometimes I answer a question that is a compound question, that's vague, that is just a horrible question. And I've seen many other attorneys do the same thing. So if you're asked a question and you don't even understand what the person is asking, or if it's unclear, you can say, can you rephrase your question? I don't understand it. Just like saying I don't know and I don't remember is okay. It's okay to say, I can't answer that question because I don't understand it. Very important. Your testimony is important. And this testimony could be used not just during the current hearing or trial, but it could be used years down the road if you ever, God forbid, go back to court on a, like, for example, a modification of custody or parenting time. You have to make sure your answers are as accurate as they can be. All right, so we've almost arrived, and this is my 5th and final tip for your courtroom psyching routine. Now, like most people, I'm nervous the morning of a trial, the morning of a hearing, because I know a lot is on the line, and I want to do the best job that I can for my client. Sometimes I have trouble sleeping, sometimes I have trouble eating, but there are certain things that I do, kind of like Tiger Woods wears his red shirt when he's in big tournaments. I have this routine that helps me. And the first thing I do is I really get myself grounded. And this may not be the same for everyone, but I meditate. And I know if I'm going to have a bad day, or if I have a bad day, my day's better because I meditated. That it would have been worse if I hadn't meditated in the morning. So it may not be meditation for you. It may be taking your dog for a walk, petting your cat, walking around the block, sitting outside and enjoying your cup of coffee or tea in the silence. Whatever calms you down, don't miss it that morning. Get up extra early so you can get it in. This is going to help you feel more grounded. The second thing I do is I find a way to release all of my nervous anxiousness. And for me, that's exercise. We have a bike, and I ride my bike as hard as I can. I sweat. I listen to the loud music while I'm riding the bike, and I get it all out. And that, again, usually after I've ridden the bike, I feel much calmer. So you may be lifting weights, or you may be a weightlifter, lift the weights, do the sit-ups, do the push-ups, do the jumping jacks, do a cartwheel, do whatever it is that works for you to get that nervousness out. Whatever you can do, make it happen. The third and final thing, and this is where my fun freebie comes in, and I want you to click the link above so you can download my playlist of Courtroom Psyching Rock. You may not know this about me, but I was a metalhead when I was in high school. I was raised in the 80s and 90s. I was into the grunge rock, and I like to listen to loud music. It's probably why I have hearing issues. But when I'm on my way to the courtroom, especially now that we're back in the courtroom, which I love, I turn my radio up. I put on my favorite music that I love to sing at the top of my lungs, and that helps me release energy and get it out. And not only that, but it helps me walk into the courtroom feeling happier than I did before it. Like I feel powerful. I love that I've just connected with this music that makes me feel good. So whatever that music is for you, it may not be my music, may not be metal, and the playlist isn't all metal. There's some really good music, so I encourage you to check it out. But your music may be classical music. It may be soft rock. It may be yacht rock. It may be country. Find that music that connects you. Music really affects us on a deep level. And if you like music, then use it to get yourself in the right headspace for your hearing. And when you go into that hearing, don't listen to the inner critic, and we all have one, including me, that's telling you, you know, you're no good. This is going to go badly. It's not going to go your way. A judge is not going to believe you. Get rid of it. Push those thoughts out of your mind. It's just as easy to think that a good result is going to happen as it is to think that a bad one is. So if you have a choice, why would you choose to think about the bad result? Why would you choose to believe the worst things that you can believe about yourself? I believe in you, and I believe you can do it, and I believe you can put on a good case, and I believe that you can be a credible witness. So I hope that these tips helped. If they did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you have a friend who you think could benefit from the Command the Courtroom videos, let your friend know. Hey, there's something out there that's free that can help you. Don't forget to check out all the other videos that the Command the Courtroom YouTube channel has. There's something in there that will help with almost every aspect of your case. And until next time, remember to keep on trucking, get out there and command the courtroom, and don't forget, I love you.